I'm Devi Daly and I'm here at Yellowstone, and there's a geyser behind me. It's called the Lone Star Geyser. We're going to do a Yin Yoga practice for the whole body. You won't need any props for this. Go ahead and begin sitting down in a seated position with crossed legs. Closing the eyes and sitting with your spine tall. Feel your sitting bones rooted down to the ground. Roll your shoulders up and back and then slide them down and lift up through the crown of your head. You can find a little movement in your head to release and relax any tension in the neck. And begin to breathe steadily and evenly here. And take 3 more deep breaths up and down the spine. And letting the eyes open up and make your way into child's pose. So climb onto hands and knees. Just resting here for 1 minute. Good. And coming up now to sit with the legs in front of you for half butterfly pose. So take your right leg in front and coming forward for 2 minutes over this right leg, stretching into the hamstrings. And you can allow your spine to be soft here. Let your head relax. Let your shoulders relax. And switching sides, left leg forward, right leg bent. Adjust the seat as you need to, move your sitting bones around, move your prop around if you're sitting on anything. And staying connected to your breath. And as you exhale your next breath or two, see if you can soften a little bit more, relax a little bit more into the shape. And slowly releasing, coming up, making your way down onto your back, resting on the back for 1 full minute. You can have hands on the belly or out at your sides, and let the legs open out as wide as you need to so that you feel totally comfortable in your hips, your pelvis, your buttocks. And taking this time of rest to be still and to feel the effects of the pose that you just did, the half butterfly pose, stretching the back of the body. And now bend your knees, hug them into your chest, wrap the arms around the legs, and just gently rock side to side, feeling your back body. Good, and release the legs. And now coming into a quad stretch, the half saddle pose. So start by lying on your right side, right elbow, and getting all the way onto your right hip. And now bending the left foot up and hold on to the foot, or use a strap around the foot if that doesn't work to hold the foot with your hand. And you can stay here in the stretch. You can come into a lying down version of it like so, or you can come all the way back if it feels okay on your knee to come into this version where the foot is next to the hip and you lie all the way back. And this right leg could do this, have the foot flat on the ground, or it could stay extended out, or it could do this where you're bending the knee and then opening it out to the side. So play around with it. All of it adjusts the position of your pelvis, and so it will make a difference what you do with that leg, but it is up to you. 2 minutes here. now slowly releasing the half saddle pose, so you can prop yourself back up to help untuck that leg and then make your way into it on the other side. So leaning on the left elbow and the left outer hip, bend the right leg up, stay here or lie down like so, or rest all the way back with the foot next to the right hip. 2 minutes here. So the target area of this pose is the quadriceps. This is the front of your thigh, maybe also up into the front of the hip. Breathing into what you feel here. And release the pose, and you can lean over to help untuck that leg and then make your way onto your back to rest once again, to feel the effects of the pose. Take a few moments to be completely still and just receive. Feel the rise and fall of your breath. And releasing, draw the knees in toward the chest. And this time you can take the knees into these circles. So circling the knees like you're massaging around your sacrum, around your lower back, and then circle around the other way. All right, and now coming to one side to make your way into a sitting position for square pose. So square pose has alternatives. I'll show you the square first, and then I'll show you a couple alternatives. So right ankle on top of the left knee. You could have the knees closer together for shoelace pose, or square pose here, or this modified square where you take the foot on the ground. So in any of these versions, you come forward, and that's where the stretch comes from. When you come forward, you're feeling the stretch in the buttock on the right side. And if you don't feel it there, if you feel it mostly on the knee, try the modified version or the pigeon pose or the figure 4 pose as an alternative. 2 minutes here. And some people like to have something in front of them, like a a couple of blocks or one block even for your elbows, or some sort of a pillow from your sofa or a yoga bolster. And slowly releasing, square pose, change sides, left leg on top of the right. Make your way forward once again. Very good. Now let's come up, and from this seated position, come right into dragonfly pose. So widen your legs. It's okay if your legs are not very wide. Whatever feels comfortable for you as you come forward, feeling the stretch in the inner thighs and maybe also the back of the torso, the back of the spine. And you can feel free to soften your shoulders and soften your spine here and let the weight of the head hang. And slowly releasing. And now 1 minute over each leg. So 1 minute just turning your torso to face toward this leg and relaxing over. And so here there's a hamstring stretch, maybe a little bit of groin stretch still. And if you reach this arm across, you can take it to the outside of the leg or just wherever it's comfortable and maybe feel some of this right side of the torso stretch as well. And now coming up just a bit, so about halfway, and rotate this open. So take the right shoulder back, facing your heart toward the sky. And now this right hand can come behind the back, or it can reach up over the head. Maybe you reach the foot if that's in your range of motion, or you could rest the hand behind the head. If you keep the arm down, you'll get a little more shoulder and neck stretch. If you reach the arm up, you'll get more torso stretch. Another minute here. Very good. Now bring it back up and moving into the side stretch with the chest facing the leg first. I know that this is not a favorite way to stretch for a lot of people. This wide legs is not comfortable for everyone. So if you're feeling like you're one of those people, I'll invite you to do something different with this back leg. Bend the knee like this or like this. And that works for either of these two things that we're doing here. This stretch facing toward the leg and then the side stretch. So in Yin Yoga, we always strive to make it work for the body, make the yoga work for the body rather than the reverse, which is people often beat their bodies up to make it do the pose right. We are not about that here in the Yin Yoga world. So if the pose is not comfortable, if some part of the body is talking to you saying, nope, this isn't right, then that's the voice for you to listen to. Very good, and now moving into the side bend. So come up a bit and rotate the chest so that the left shoulder rolls back, and then start to move into that side bend and see if your left hand's going to want to go behind your back or up and over the head. So it's not important how far down you're coming here. It's about what you're feeling in the side of the torso, the side of the spine, and maybe the side of the neck. Great, and now release, coming up and come all the way down onto your back and rest on the back in any comfortable position just for a brief time to feel the effects of the pose that you just did. And feel the flow of your breath. Good, and now bending the knees and getting ready for the final posture, which is for the spine. So happy baby pose. Hold the soles of the feet. Soles of the feet turn up to the sky. If it feels good here, you could rock the pose side to side. Or inverting by sending the legs up and over the head. Hands can support the back and your legs come over the head. And they can just dangle. They don't have to reach the ground. Mine are not reaching the ground today. And they do some days and they don't other days. And that's not what's important to me. What's important is that I'm stretching the backs of my thighs and the back of the spine. And so feeling this whole back body stretch, whichever of the postures you're in. And if you're comfortable with the hands extended on the ground or hands clasped, feel free to do what feels right. Some people also like to have the arms up over the head and hold the feet or whatever feels good. And now slowly releasing, rolling out onto your back. Resting on the back. And before we do final relaxation position, taking a quick spinal twist. Draw the knees in and take both knees over to the right hand side. Right hand on the legs, left arm out to the left side. You could do cactus arm with this left hand or reach it straight out. Good, and now bringing it over to the other side. Right arm out to the right side. And release the twist, bring the knees back up to the center and straighten the legs out and rest in Shavasana or star pose, final relaxation. Find comfort, put anything you want over top of you for warmth, extra clothes, a blanket, or a bolster under the knees, an eye pillow over the eyes. Make yourself cozy. And after all of these postures we've done to target the whole body's meridians, now settling into stillness and letting the chi flow, letting the body harmonize its energies. And now bending the knees and starting to make your way out of final relaxation, shifting to roll onto one side, make your way up to a sitting position. And that's our practice. Let's bring the palms together in front of the heart and chant Om one time. Inhaling here. Om. Namaste. So that's our practice at Yellowstone at the Lone Star Geyser. The sun is setting, and I want to thank Konrad, my honey, for doing the filming for us and for bringing me out here and for being the RV man and the cameraman. So thanks, Konrad.
You're welcome, sweetheart.
I hope you enjoyed that practice, and if so, please hit that thumbs up button and the subscribe button and check out my other yoga videos. See you next time.